Well, hello everyone, and welcome to HoGaDaSh's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself, or know your nation, know yourself. So, tonight, folks, we are HoGaDaSh again. So, I just want to say a big welcome, of course, to Lady G. I mean, I want to point this way, but maybe it should be this way. But Lady G over here to my side. And then, of course, we have Dave. Yeah, David, back from Tarot by the Bay. I might have to point that way. But down under this time, in what is normally Lena's position, we have Sheila of Celtic Tarot. So, everyone, it's going to be another action-packed show tonight. We'll be bringing you the usual combination of one-card pulls, maybe full-card pulls, stuff like that. Wednesday is a very busy day for me. I've been with my clients all day. It's been sensational, but I barely had time to read off the questions because I've just did a video of Candace Owens. Oh my God.
Really?
So that's in membership. Many of you join the membership. Pop in there. That video is uploading now, and I'll be able to kind of do a thumbnail for it in post-production, but it's there in the background. So give it a half hour or so after I've done this show, so for you to see it there. You will not believe the connections with Trump. You will also not believe some of the things that are in her chart and what I discovered about her connections and stuff with Charlie Kirk and all of that stuff. Anyway, that is to the side. Lady G, while I gather myself together, please tell me, what have you been up to this week? And you're looking wonderful in something yellow. No, not yellow, pink with Dr. Reeves. David and then Sheila. So what have you been up to, Lady G? And I rummage through the questions.
Today is my enlightenment birthday, and I have a new book coming out, and that should be out within the next day or so. And it's about the journey through consciousness.
Oh,
Nice.
That's awesome.
I wasn't expecting that. That's pretty incredible. How long have you been writing this book?
Oh, they're all taken from my writings and things from before, Yahoo groups and YouTube groups and all of that. So this is my 16th book.
16th. Wow, you are a pro. That is absolutely incredible. Well, thanks so much for sharing that, and I wish you every success, of course, with the books that everyone, once it's out, go buy it. Yeah, that's amazing. And congratulations as well to you on your enlightenment birthday. Much appreciated. She's a very evolved lady, folks. Have you noticed? You think every string in Lady G's bow has been plucked, and she comes out with another one. Anyway, it's extraordinary. David, how has your week been? What have you been up to?
This week has been a disaster of comedy, representing these slacker paste eaters over here that haven't written 16 books. And I had a video go up on Monday with no sound, and then it's always fun. My car is in for some warranty work, and I'm actually going to sell it back to the dealership. And my wife and I bought a replacement vehicle yesterday. So it's not a lot going on, but there's a lot going on. But it's all just getting stuff done around the house type of thing.
Bless. So a succession of mishaps for you this week, which do you know, we've
get us aligned right back where we need to be. Get rid of the stuff that was out of alignment and point us towards our North Star, and we'll go from there.
Perfect. Hopefully we can do that for you. And Sheila, what has your week been like? What have you been up to?
I got nothing. I mean, I ate a sleeve of Oreos. I mean, what else do you think?
Good job.
We've been pretty calm over here in Colorado, other than some group wanted a CK Day memorial here in Colorado. It's been stopped since then, but yeah, there's a group here that wanted to make sure that CK was a memorial day, like Martin Luther King Day.
No.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, here in Colorado Springs to be exact. We're like, that was the stupidest thing I've ever heard of.
My goodness.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to go farther than their idea.
Right, I see. All right, so what's this? Oh, okay. Trump versus BiBi. Okay, what we'll do is I've been able to scan my eye over, and forgive me, folks, if I do miss one or two of your questions. Like I said, I have an extraordinarily busy day today, and there's been all sorts going on. So let's just dive in. We'll go international first, because this is an international channel here, and there's a lot of juicy stuff happening here as well. So we're going to be looking at President Xi, and we're going to be looking at Argentina and the billions, and then No Kings propaganda and all the stuff and whatever else that we can squeeze in. So this will be a one card pull. You guys know the drill. We pull one card and we each interpret that card. This is coming from Denise Ferguson. Now, I already mentioned this on my channel, but I think she's picking up more on this as well. Denise Ferguson says, it's reported President Xi is in poor health. Now, allegedly, he has had a massive stroke. Allegedly. Now, you guys will know, I've been talking about for ages, haven't I? I've been saying, look, K2 is going through Leo. K2 is snip. Leo is leadership and famous people, actors, artists. We could see the endings of certain prominent people. But also as well, Uranus is retrograde. Yes, planet of sudden shocks and surprises. And it's going back towards Agol, which also deals with what? Assassinations, endings of careers. Xi allegedly has had a stroke, but it's not been confirmed as far as I'm aware. Where was I? Blah, blah, blah. All right. The letter sent to the West restricting rare earth minerals was an attempt by Xi's CCP supporters to show that Xi is still in charge. Again, allegedly. CCP, which is the China, I forget what it means, but it's the party. The party elders are not involved in this action. Rumors are circulating Xi will be replaced during China's 4th plenum. So this is when they get together and they decide, what's going on. October 20th through 23rd, the direction of the CCP internal politics will determine the outcome of China-US relations. Will President Xi be removed from power during China's 4th plenum? Oh, right. I've got literally my Caroline Mace cards today. I was doing archetypes today for a client of mine. Right, let's just dive in. Will Xi be removed? To add a bit of context to that, folks, there's been all sorts of weird phenomena happening in China. The crystal or the see-through orchid, which is synonymous with death. Literally clouds of locusts, frogs, and weird apparitions in the sky. All right. Which can mean the ending of a leader. Let me just see here. Xi. All right. So starting with Lady G, and we'll go clockwise after 3. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, Lady G, what do you have?
Well, whatever's going to happen to him, there is going to be a agreement between the ones that are there in charge. So they're all getting together and deciding his fate. But 9 out of 10, it'll be exiting.
Wow. Okay, David, how do you interpret your card?
Page of Wands. I'm thinking that they're talking about the actions that they're going to do going forward, but I suspect it's kind of with who they want to replace him with. Mm-hmm. Sort of like, how do you orchestrate this change in power so that it goes smoothest for the new person who comes in? It may not be right away, but I think they're gonna go that route.
Oh, fascinating. Sheila, how do you interpret your card?
Well, I pulled it from my situationals. I was kind of wanting to see what the situation is there, and it got burnt. And it says about to, at the bottom, it says about to reveal or confess. So whether he's sick, something's about to change, and they're really on the verge of a decision or whatever is going to happen with him. My first thought when you said that, I have to be this really quick. When you said that he had a stroke, my pictures in my head literally went to him, and it had something to do with his medicine was messed up. Like the medicine he was taking or something like that, because it just took me to where the medication there, and he's really mad at the doctor. So I don't know if that is true. I don't know what that is, but I just wanted to put that out there. That's what I saw.
Wow, fascinating. Okay, and I've got the Hermit card. The Hermit card is the card of what? Withdrawal, retreat. It can also talk about deep research. What this says to me is, and someone helpfully said that the CCP stands for China Communist Party, of course. And I also want to say as well, thank you as well to the new members here, Adrienne and Suzanne. Thank you so much. You obviously got access to those videos. So here, but this is also a card. It can also be quite a clandestine card, the Hermit, because it's talking about secret plans, things that are behind, yet there is the illumination here. I think there has been quiet talks and machinations potentially behind Xi's back for quite a while. Some podcasters are saying if it wasn't an authentic stroke, it may have been an induced one. So maybe someone could have what? Tampered with the medication. He has been under the tutelage, or not tutelage, but under the guidance apparently of a very renowned German doctor. But as we know, if you want to get rid of someone, it's not too difficult to swap out a few pills for something else. Do you see?
I did not know that.
Yeah. So when you said that, I was like, could be something going on there. So I think Xi's days are numbered. I'm in agreement as well with the rest of you guys. It may not happen immediately, but there have been plans for a while. A lot of people want Xi gone. Heard it here first, folks. All right. Are we ready for the next question? Yeah. All right. So guys, now we're getting in our esoteric aeroplane and we are going to Argentina. Of course, how could we not? This question has come in from Nick Minks. And she says, after handing Argentina billions, Trump has now said the US will not help if Milei loses power. You can't make this stuff up. So the question is whether it's a ploy to sway voters or will the money be used to fix votes? So in a way, it's kind of like also talking about Trump as well, isn't it? Like, what is the motivations here? Will they get the money? You know, let's just see. I thought the money was already sent. Can anyone give clarity on that? I thought the money was already sent.
Well, it just raised. It was 20, it doubled into 40. So million or billion, whichever one it is. I can't, you know, it's all the same when it comes to all that crap. But anyways, it doubled, but I didn't hear anything about, I mean, the MAGAs are mad right now. They're really, I mean, if you've been listening to Marjorie Taylor Greene recently, she's been making sense. And I'm pretty mad about it.
I know.
And she's against it. She's like, this cannot happen. I can't believe they're doing this. But I haven't heard anything about Malaysia. So that's the first I've heard about that.
Well, one thing I'll quickly add to that before we reveal our cards. And I've been saying this to friends and clients. I said, you know, the world is upside down and back to front when Marjorie Taylor Greene starts making sense. When you find your head nodding to Marjorie Taylor Greene, you know something extreme is going on. But anyway, after 3, let's take a look and see what these cards have to say about Argentina and this money. And I did see Trump say, if Milei doesn't win, he doesn't get the money. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like blackmail. After 3, 1, 2, 3, and David, you're going first. Oh, look at this.
Okay, Knight of Cups. Friends or false friends? This is, to me, this is classic Donald Trump trying to manipulate somebody else's election, leveraging it with, we're going to give this person money, but if you don't do what I want, then the money's pulled, type of thing. So likely there is some deal going on in the background that we don't know about, and if we had the information, this would totally make sense, but we're working in a vacuum.
Wow. Sheila, what do you have?
Well, my first card up is surveillance. I keep on getting this for the Republicans. Surveillance, of course, is I'm gathering intel and stuff like that. So what I'm starting to gather when I get the surveillance card, and I think that's right. I remember them saying, if you don't elect this guy or something along that lines, well, you're not going to get the money. So it's another
Pro.
Thank you. Yeah. And, it's just evil dealings. As usual, they're never on the up and up. And I don't remember exactly what the question was, but my feeling is that none of this is going to get him any votes. But there's some stuff over there that he's really manipulating the people. There's something really wrong with this deal.
Gosh, you can't make this stuff up. Can you believe the stuff that we read on now, folks? That we read on? And it's happening. It's like, anyway, look, my card here says it all. Here we have the High Priestess. We know when we are talking about politics, this is the clandestine card. This is the card of hidden machinations, etc. This is also my card as well for Netanyahu as well, believe it or not. So who knows? He may even have a few tentacles in this as well. So this means machinations, secret plans. We do not know fully what is going on, but obviously there is skullduggery. Lady G?
Well, I got the card of the, he's going to back out. Mentally, he's just going, no. Got the dead bird here.
Who Trump is backing out? Yeah.
It looks like it because we got the card of retreat.
Nice.
So backing out of his agreement, is that what you mean? Yeah. Fascinating. Anything to add to that, guys, while I just look at the other side of the page and line up some more questions?
It kind of fits his little mob boss mentality of, if they do vote for him, he's going to say, see, I got you this position by giving you that recommendation in this thing. And and then he won't pay him. Because if you don't, this is a very colorful description, excuse me, but it's like prostitution. You pay up front, you don't pay after services are rendered, or else you're not going to get your money. That's how Donald Trump operates. Didn't his father used to run a brothel, or his grandfather?
Yeah, the granddad.
The granddad. Yeah, exactly. The same thing. Money up front, please.
Wow. All right, so let's see here. Oh my gosh, there's so many different things. All right, let's look here. Oh, these are some interesting questions. What's this here? Okay, let's do. What's this? Ceasefire continues. Let's take a look. This is coming from Jerry Gelding. And she says, hello, savvy seers. Despite the ceasefire agreement, Israel is continuing sporadic attacks on Palestinians and reducing the amount of aid allowed in contravention of the terms of the ceasefire. Do you see the ceasefire holding? I think that's a good question. So let's do a one card pull again on that. And then we'll take some questions on no kings. Sorry, go on, Sheila.
Just to give transparency, they've already violated portion of the ceasefire. So just for transparency reasons, that's already happened. Not the whole thing, but portions of it.
Yeah, they have. Maybe this can be like what are the intentions for that Israel may have in regards to this ceasefire? We've already had the high priestess show up, which for me is the Netanyahu card. If it comes up again, then obviously we know what's going on. So we do one card pull. Will the ceasefire hold, or is it just going to disintegrate again? Let's just see. Even though it's already been breached. Let's have a look. Will the ceasefire hold? Will the ceasefire hold? All right. After 3, and then... Who's going first this time? Because I've been doing clockwise. Is it me or Sheila?
Sheila.
All right. Okay. So Sheila, you're going first this time. After 3. 1, 2, 3. What do you have?
I have well, my card is the Phoenix, the Arion. It's like a, I don't know. My feeling with the card as it comes through, the picture right there where the bird comes out, it's like everybody has to flee the place because it's only going to get worse. They have to literally revamp. They have to literally start over somewhere else. That's kind of the feeling of it when it came through. I mean, it's good for the Palestinian people where they're going to get out, go do something else, get away from this chaos. But of course, Gaza is just going to turn into something that they want.
Transformed in something else, perhaps.
Transforming the Gaza is going to there it is. Gaza is going to transform into something else.
Gosh. So if we look here, my card is I get the 8 of Pentacles, which is the card of what? Building, hard work, working towards some kind of project. And one can't help but think this is the plans for Gaza. Yeah, rebuild it, but in a completely transformative way. Because if this is tying in with the energy of Sheila's card, which is what? There's something rising from the ashes, the phoenix rising from the ashes. They're all working hard on those plans, folks. And guess what? Tony Blair, our former British Prime Minister, is also part of it as well. Lady G?
Well, I've got picked up on South Street, Patsy of Smoke, and we've got the matches. So, yeah, they're not done. You know, smoke and mirrors the drama, and they're going to continue to prostitute out there and do what they've been doing.
Wow. Wow. And David, how do you interpret your card?
Knight of Pentacles, this could be the mercenary. And also following the money. I do think that I suspect that the military will tailor back their attacks, but then they'll farm it out, whether it's special forces or other groups to bring in to do their dirty work for them so they can get onto the business of transforming the leveled Gaza into the new cosmopolitan Riviera. Basically their version of Dubai, or however you want to call it, in that area, so that the oligarchs have their new playground to play in.
Oh, God. Yeah. I think, yeah. I think that's spot on, isn't it? I think it's, in a way, it's kind of like, I really feel for the Palestinians because I feel like the die is cast. The decisions have been made, and there are so many people that are complicit in this, guys. I've literally seen like the plans, from, not only Jared Kushner and all of that kind of stuff. Tony Blair is helping as well. And I think there's even support, obviously, not obviously, but tacitly as well, where it seems some countries in the Middle East are also supporting this as well, particular, of course, Saudi Arabia, for entertainment purposes only. I just feel like they've just been completely screwed over, don't you reckon, just by absolutely everyone. The Palestinians.
That's how real estate mongrels work. Just like they did in Aurora, Colorado. There was an apartment building there. Apparently, the guy who owned it wanted to sell it, but he had people in there. He didn't want to take the legal route. So what did he do? He sent the ICE agents and kicked everybody out of there, saying that it was overrun by whatever, right? Get everybody out of there. He then sold it to somebody else. Somebody else is investing in it, and now it's going for people who have, you know, a lot of the apartments and all that revamped, redone into a higher price. That's
Wow.
what they did in Chicago. There's another one in Chicago where he did the exact same thing. He got everybody out of the apartment buildings. The apartment buildings were from slumlords. They wanted everybody out. They didn't want to start with the legal lords. So they get over there, ICE agents, everybody has to get kicked out. Now it's being sold for the exact same thing. That's how he's been doing. I have a feeling that's the reason why he's going into Portland. There's nothing wrong with Portland, except for there's probably an apartment building over there that he needs.
Wow. Fascinating. And just to share some commentary here from the peeps watching. Tamara Camp says China losing their leader right now would be destabilizing globally. Yes, it certainly would. As we know, China is, of course, a rising superpower, and China's future, of course, affects the whole world's future because they are the manufacturer of the world. Someone says here, what was the name of that orchid in China called? I think it's called something like the glass orchid or the crystal orchid, but it's white and it's see-through, and it is associated as a portent of death in China. So there's also as well, there's been these reflections of the sun in the sky. And when they say the sun is reflected several times, it means that the leader will not stay. There will be many leaders. The leader will change. There's been all sorts of portents and all sorts. What we'll do is we'll do one more, which is a one card pull. And then we're going to read more fully on the No Kings March. Yeah, which of course is happening on the 18th of October when Jupiter becomes exalted. Anyway, so this one coming from Nick Minks again. This one says here, Dumpy said, Trump said to reporters that Netanyahu wasn't the easiest to deal with. Do the cards show what Netanyahu really thinks of Trump? Oh! One card pull, folks. I'm sure it's not pleasant. What does Netanyahu really think of Duck L'Orange? And I think I'm going first this time, isn't it? All right, so I'm going first. Forgive me. Let me just... What does BiBi really think of Duck L'Orange? Does BiBi really think? All right. After 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, now this card is interesting. I get the Ace of Swords, which is normally associated with truth. Now, obviously, Netanyahu does not see Trump as a truth teller. Yeah, both of them are the two of the biggest lying douchebags in the whole world. But what this says to me is, I think he sees Duck L'Orange for what he truly is. This is how I'm interpreting this. He sees it all, yeah. But I think the way I'm interpreting this could almost be the hand of Netanyahu holding this sword. And you notice that there's a crown on the top, and Duck L'Orange loves to think of himself as the king. I think Netanyahu sees Trump as a tool, a weapon that he can wield to get what he wants. That's how I interpret that. Lady G?
Well, I've got the Earth Brother, and as you can see, he's riding the calf. So worshiping the golden calf, for him, it's about the monetary stuff and what he can get from him.
Yeah. Wow. And David, how do you interpret your card?
He thinks Trump's crazy. Plain and simple.
Nice and simple, it's true. He cray. How do you interpret your card?
I drew poison. Toxic, unhealthy. So yeah, I got the behaviors of people, and he knows this guy is just bonkers. he's a wackadoo. So yeah. But poison, I think he knows he's just dangerous enough to set the world on fire, to be honest.
Yeah. Wow. You can also look at that Seven of Cups as being that Trump is unnecessary evil. It's like he understands he's crazy, but it fits the tool narrative as well.
Yeah. BiBi is using Trump. Trump is actually, not that I feel mercy for Trump, but Trump is actually quite a tragic figure, you know. He's quite a tragic figure in the sense of, here he is, world leader, whatever, and he is being so manipulated and exploited, especially by BiBi. Apparently, BiBi goes around saying that he sees himself as the true leader of the United States. Think about that. That is an extraordinary thing to say, but anyway. So let me just say a few thank yous as well. Thank you so much, guys, for the donations. What's this here? Foggy is here. Thank you so much. Kathleen, oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Mountain Sage, thank you so much. And so many more of you as well. To buy here as well, thank you so much. I can't get through to everyone, but thank you so much. Much appreciated. All right, now let's talk about No Kings. Actually, shall we do a bit of Shakespeare on BiBi? Shall we do a bit of Shakespeare on BiBi? Let's do that. All right.
Yeah, let's go with your let's do it.
Yeah. And then we'll do No Kings, but we're going to do a full card pull on No Kings because it's very important and consequential. All right. So, David, you're the guest. You know the routine. Tell me where to stop, and then we'll get the Bard's opinion on BiBi.
There.
Oh, 1 minute. Oh, fuck. It was. Oh, wait. Can you? It was. Wait. When you said there, I was.
There.
I think I was here. I think I was there. Ooh. Yeah. Look at that. All right. This is what the Bard has to say on BiBi's. This is from the Comedy of Errors, Shakespeare. One whose hard heart is buttoned up with steel, pitiless and rough. I think it pretty much says it all, doesn't it? And then the next one on the next page says, so this is from Henry IV, Part 2. Away, you moldy rogue, away. Yep. There you are.
Well, that's good news. If it's moldy, that means he's almost time to throw away.
I hope so, but BiBi is he's extremely cunning. He's extremely cunning, and he's I don't know. He's dodgy as you know what. All right, so let's look at the No Kings March, which of course is coming up on October the 18th, 2025, which is technically 2 days away from now, 16th of October, where I am. This is the second installment of the No Kings March, and it's also coinciding when Jupiter becomes exalted in sidereal Cancer. I have been looking at the charts, and I've been looking at the similarities between now and the French Revolution. When I looked, Pluto was in sidereal Capricorn, where it is now. Neptune and Saturn were together, but in the French Revolution, they were in Virgo. Yeah, together in Virgo, but now they are in, Saturn and Neptune are in Pisces. So they're opposite their placements. And one thing that I was looking at where I saw when the French Revolution really kicked off was when Jupiter was exalted in the sign of sidereal Cancer. And that happens in 2 days.
Jeez.
Interesting times. Also to let you know that Jupiter is going to sit right on top of Trump's natal Saturn. Saturn is the planet of karma. Anything could happen, guys, in that next thing. It could either be in the 12th house, which deals with endings, being career, health. He could have a health incident, which is obviously quite obvious, or he could end up exile. I don't think it's going to be prison, but something is going to happen there. Also, as well, about the economy too. So let's look at this full card pull. 2 questions. Jerry Gelding says, in anticipation of the upcoming No Kings protest, the regime is already spreading propaganda, calling it traitorous, hate America, Antifa rally. Of course, they are douchebags. They're calling it that. Do the cards show if this is indicative of F-45's plan to call in the military and or declare martial law? Good question. If so, will the military comply or show up to protect the protesters as per their oath? And then another new Queen's question came in from Anjali. Hello, Hoagie and friends. Could you please read on the energy around Saturday No Kings protests here in the US? Will everyone stay safe? Will Orange regime do something nefarious against the protesters? What do you all see? Much love and gratitude. So full card pull, No Kings protest. Let's see what's going on. And Lady G, you'll be first. Oh, man. You're right there, David.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, my eyes closed. All right. Lady G, you ready to go?
No.
Oh, okay, no problem. David, are you ready to go? Do you need a bit more time?
No, I'm good. I'm good. I got it. My foundation, my rating is the King of Wands. So no King's protest, and we're starting off with a King of fire and energy here. Center underneath that, I have the Two of Coins. So it's kind of the chaos that's going on, but it's also the declining in values and between the economy, the values of the United States. It's like the United States is circling the bowl. On either side, I've got the Five of Cups, which is kind of the disappointment of watching where the country's going, the dissatisfaction with it, but it's not fully lost. It's just it's against the ropes and it's just getting pummeled. But at the same time, there's that the Six of Cups, the nostalgia of it's not lost. We can save this. This is kind of during the dark times. That's when people need to stand up, and either you can stay or you can walk away, type of thing here. I don't know if they're expecting larger numbers, that this might be the largest attended No Kings protest. I can see a situation where not as many people show up because of the heavy-handed responses that the government's had. But that just might be an interpretation or misinterpretation of what the Eight of Cups is representing with the walking away card.
Wow. So is that everything, David? I wanted to make sure you got
fine, yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Fascinating. All right. Sheila, how do you interpret your cards?
Well, the protesters are going to be offered something like, are you going to be offered maybe they're going to agitate, they're going to do something, they're going to a man-made disaster of some sort. They are going to be injected into that. Like, is this going to piss them off? Is this going to off? Is this going to piss them off? But they get victory over it. There is a victory card here where we go into the streets, we feel very, satisfied and stuff like that. I also got fake death, and I'm not sure where to place that. That's like the weirdest card to be placed in the middle of that. Is something going to happen? They're going to blame it on them? I don't know. But we also got generosity and celebration. So the protests are going to be out there. Generosity, the celebration, getting out there. This is the Six of Pentacles, hands out, let's go, camaraderie. And then again, I get another weird little card on top of that, natural disaster. Is there a fire? Is there something, you know what I mean? It's like weird stuff is going to happen around that. However, my last card is the best card ever. It's going to be a celebration. I got the Four of Wands, the celebration under the, everything going well. Everything at the end is going to enlighten. It's going to join. The energy is going to be there. And then justice is happening. So I don't know if that means ice. I don't know if that means somebody's, you know what I mean? So there's a mixed things of what's going to happen out there. Lots of great stuff, but the other side is going to really try to invoke some sort of anger or whatever. What my recommendation is, don't fall for it. Walk away. We're not that type of people. They haven't been able to invoke anger that much in us from the get-go. They haven't been able to do it. They've been trying, but I think that there is going to be agitation. That's my thing. But be safe and go out there and be brave. My thing is, we don't stand down. That's my thing. We are Americans. We don't stand down. So.
Well, let's see. Let's see how that goes. All right, the cards that I've got. Yeah, the cards. All right, look. I'll say it as it is. No, this is a nightmare for everyone. Yeah, look, there is anguish. There is stress. Yeah, there is difficulty, in the country. Like, I just wanted to add here someone look, someone says here, I just wanted to share this. Sorry that you're disappearing a bit, folks on the bottom here. It says here, I live paycheck to paycheck, no insurance, pay 2 weeks pay for an exam and lenses. Can anyone in this community help me understand why when I go to work I threw up days old food, not what I ate today? So look, this is part of the anxiety, the difficulty, the stress that this regime is putting on everyone. This is also the anxiety of what? Cost of living, food prices, etc. So it's not, I feel that the King's, No King's protest is also as well, people are just feeling anguished. They can't sleep. It's just too much pressure. However, look, I'm a bit worried to see this card. We have the Tower card show up, which can mean what? A sudden event, a shock, a surprise. I hope this does not mean some kind of red flag event that could be staged in order to justify something else. Jupiter is becoming exalted, which means kind of enlightenment, but it means the masses wake up. I've also been warning something epic and powerful is going to happen. This is also my card for Uranus, which can also deal with assassinations and things like that, particularly when it's going towards our goal. I hope not. If we look here, we have the Moon card showing that there are secret motivations, but this could also show as well that not everything is clear by moonlight. I do not trust this regime. They may have something secret planned, or they're going to try and corrupt what's happening in some kind of way. If we look here, we get the Queen of Cups. This is also a little bit worrying for me, because as we know, when we're reading our politics, and as Lady G would interpret it, here the Queen deals with her secrets, and this could also be what is hidden in the cup of abominations. So we don't want to be seeing Moon secretive stuff with the Tower. Yeah, I don't like that combo. But then, and when we look here, we get the Seven of Pentacles, which I refer to as the card of ROI, return on your investment. So what this is talking about values. This is where we examine the values. This is where a lot of people also as well have to look at reaping what has been sown. But this also tells me as well that this regime wants to reap something as well, because you have to look at everything in the context. So I'm just worried about the 3 middle cards. I hope it passes okay. Lady G?
Well, what I've got that's driving the reading underneath of it is strengthening the anchor, what's going on. And the outside influences, of course, Trump trying to change the stories, to manipulate things from the White House, as usual. But the reading coming into it, it's about a gamble when it comes to the burden being carried by the Magatonians and families, etc. So the energy coming into it is the alliances and wanting that truth and the new actions. So they're going to go out and do what they need to do. We have this abundance of this emotionality and rapidly moving situation. The challenge is shedding the light when it comes to the judgments on the fishtails, what they're trying to feed us. Potential outcome is the clock is ticking and the swords are out. The truth is coming out when it comes to the wealthy trying to manage to control the actions.
Right. Yeah. Manipulation, guys. God, the times that we are in, it's extraordinary. Anything that you guys would like to add to that, David, Sheila, while I line up the next question?
Yeah, just remember we outnumber them and we're smarter. So just remember that. I just want to, I have to put that out there. We outnumber them. We're smarter. And even if we have to go home, the no is stronger than anything else. The one thing that we can do with this whole thing is always keep in mind that we reject what they have for us. Energetically, that is the most powerful tool that we have.
And the fact that the Trump administration and their allies are labeling this an anti-patriotic, anti-American, hate America rally tells you that they expect a huge turnout, and they're really trying to. That walking away card may be MAGA walking away from Trump, because the anger and the energy levels rising in this country is such that they're trying desperately to message, and they may not be able to. Their messaging may not overcome this.
Yeah, they're talking to their base. They're not talking to us.
Yeah.
But in my cards, the gamble is the Magatonians. The gamble is the Magatonians, and a lot of them are already fed up with it. So I think they're worried about Magatonians showing up for the no games now.
Yeah, true.
Oh, fascinating.
We should rate on that, Hogarth, and see if there's what the temperature is who's going to show up.
Yeah, let's take a look at that. I'm going to bring in some of the, of course, the peeps as well. Thank you so much as well for all of your donations and questions and really supporting this channel. Is much appreciated. Just to let you know, we currently have 2,500 people here live in the chat. It's just gone up to that. What's this here? We got some feedback here. Connie B, who is a teacher, says, I teach a lot of my students 100%, 100 plus don't want to learn and would rather play games. It's catch 2020 and a reality check at the end of the day for sure. There's that element there about education. Mad Hog says MTG is trying to save herself. She knows Trump is going down. Yeah, she's astute enough to work that one out. She is, but as they say on iHip News, she is only filling the vacuum that is the Democrats are leaving that space for her to go into it. They can't keep letting her fill that space anyway. And then E. Holmes DeForest says Trump has no intention of bailing out Argentina. He's just talking through his butt as usual. Plus, it's illegal. So let's see. Yeah, let's see. All right, are we ready for the next question, folks? Yeah. All right, let's dive into this one. Also as well, Ooh. We read on the No Kings, but just Tamara Camp, she was just asking, and I just have to read out a question. It says, hello, Hoagie and your merry band of mystics. This Saturday is the No Kings gathering nationwide. Will the felonious Orange Emperor declare martial law in Chicago or in cities where we gather nationally? I'm worried about Saturday's gathering. Let's just do a one-card pull on that, and then we'll do one more on the Republicans just to end the show. Will Trump try and declare martial law? One card pull, and it's going to be David to start, and it's a nice concise question, isn't it? Will this douchebag try and declare martial law? Declarange. Martial law. He's itching for it. All right, after 3. 1, 2, 3. So who's first this time? Is it Lady G or David? I can't keep track. All right, it's David. All right, David, you're going first.
Yeah, if the opportunity presents itself, he will want to take it, and it will fail miserably. Hence the dying laurels on the king's crown.
Ah, interessante. Sheila, how do you interpret your card?
You know, Dave is exactly right, because I got the Hierophant. And one of the things about the Hierophant is ethics. So he's going to use some empathy ethics in this situation. For some reason, he's going to use it as well, if I like, what was that one movie where he says, but I was compassionate, or I was compassionate, and the people like people who are compassionate, and so I win, even though the guy was not a compassionate person. I forget the name of the movie, but that's kind of the feel of the Hierophant. Like, I'm gonna be looked at as a good guy. I'm trying to get into heaven.
Interesting. All right. Well, what I've got here, I've got the moon. Oh God, you never want to see the moon. Not never, but I mean, it's not yeah. When you're talking about politics, yeah. So of course, secret agendas, machinations. The important thing to understand with the moon, which I always draw attention to, is the domesticated dog and the wolf. The dog talks about society, the conventions of society, towing the line, being obedient, and doing, you know, what is nice, what is required. The wolf represents what? The fierce, wild side, the untamed instincts. There is a tension in this card between duty and doing what is right and what is wild. But here you notice that the lobster comes out of the water, and I associate this with the id and the deep subconscious, and you see it goes over to the wolf's side. Trump, the way I'm seeing this, Trump and the regime is looking for any excuse to enact their wilder side, to unleash something. But of course, they're not being honest about it. And let's not forget what Stephen Miller said about the Trump having what? Plenary powers. Do you remember that? And those CNN douchebags basically covered for him. Do you remember they cut to a commercial break and then they cut out what he said in the edit afterwards? Oh my God. Anyway, never mind. Lady G, your card.
Well, I have the King of Swords. Now, this is not him ruling in intelligence. Let's just be sure of that. So I think it's, you know, him wanting to go in and, of course, call for martial law.
Wow. Yeah. The King of Swords can also be the cruel king as well.
Exactly.
Well, it looks like he has a dilemma. Either he's going to or he's going to not. It's like I'm surprised neither one of us got the Two of Swords. That's exactly what I was looking for, to be honest with you.
Indeed, indeed. All right, I think we've got time for one more question. So Denise Ferguson again. Now, this one here, let me kind of break this down. So she says, Republicans are up to their dirty tricks again. The Maine secretary, so I think this is the state of Maine, the way it's spelled, Secretary of State announced that on September 30th, a resident of Newburgh received 250 blank absentee ballots delivered in an Amazon box. The same day, the city of Ellsworth, 40 miles away, reported 250 absentee ballots missing. In November, Maine will vote on a referendum that would enact significant changes in absentee ballots if passed. Will this referendum pass? So, David, are you familiar with the story? Can you give us some some background on this?
Only in that I just heard today that Maine was having a referendum to try and get rid of mail-in ballots. And I believe it was Heather Cockridge that I might have been listening to, and she was talking about how Maine has an older population in it, and like 40% of Maine used absentee ballots or something like that. So it's a very significant portion of their voting. And the Republicans, generally speaking, know their policies are not popular, so they have to rely on voter suppression tactics to reduce the vote so that they can control better who's voting. And you can see the setup here, right? It's like 250 ballots went missing and they showed up. We can't possibly trust this system anymore. Where are my clutching pearls because I need to faint? It's like, God, this is the type of stuff you do to entertain 3-year-olds, you know?
It's just a stuff. Can you believe it?
Come out of your ear.
Oh my
He knows
God.
his base. He knows his base well.
Oh, yeah.
God. All right, let's do one card pull on this. So the bit again is, will this referendum pass? The ending, if I'm getting this right, of voting on the ending of mail-in ballots in Maine. Oh my God. One card pull. All right. This one. All right. So after 3, and I think Sheila will be first on this one. 1, 2, 3. Oh my God, look at my card.
Mine is a 9 of Wands, perseverance, strength through trials. I don't get a yes or a no. It looks like it's going to just kind of linger in the courts for a while. Like it's that, you know, like the sticks, everybody's just, so one person's left arguing the fact. I mean, I don't think it goes anywhere. It looks barren.
Oh. Fingers crossed. All right, well, with my card here, look who is back. I mean, you can't make this up. Look who is back. The High Priestess, the card of what? Political machinations. So that 250 ballot stuff is a pile of BS, folks. It was set up. It's a setup to try and validate the argument, to manipulate the electorate. This is a plan, of course, by the Republicans to skew it. So, oh gosh, I want to say I hope that they keep mail-in ballots, but this here says to me maybe not. I hope I'm wrong, Lady G.
Well, I've got the 3 of Cups, so coming together in an agreement. So hopefully it goes through the courts, and the courts, you know, uphold mail-in ballots.
And David, your card. How do you?
Yeah, I got the Queen of Cups on this one, and I'm not getting the out of control emotion as much as I was being the drama king just a couple moments ago with the fainting couches. You know, okay, so investigate it. If you've got a problem with the ballot, do an investigation, and we'll withhold judgment what's going on. But I do think that there was some clandestine stuff going on here. Kind of we'll keep this hush hush. It could have been an accident, and the person who realizes they screwed up ain't gonna admit it. You know, that type of thing. It's like, oh boy, that's where that box went. type of thing. Or it could be that they're plotting, but it just doesn't seem like one box of 250 ballots is going to do anything, because the counter argument is going to be, okay, so a bunch of ballots went out. Were they signed? It's one thing to have ballots go out, but it's another thing to fill it out. Then you have to sign it, and you have to go through signature verifications and things along those lines.
Well, we all know the absentee ballots have a lot to do with a lot of maybe military members who are out of state and out of country. Do you know how long it takes for a ballot to get to a soldier at a base in Germany and then to turn around and send it back? It takes a long time. So those ballots legitly could have been just military that just got there too late.
Interessante. Well, folks, we live in extraordinary times. Yeah, these really are truly historic times. We'll have to see what Jupiter brings when it stands on Trump's Saturn, starting from the 18th of October 2025, which is now, by my time, only but 2 days away. Really, Jupiter is acting exalted already because it's so close in degree. Let's see what happens. Jupiter is associated with luck. Does it mean Duck Larange will get a reprieve? However, for Leo rising like he is, Jupiter is the 8th Lord of the 8th, which deals with what? Sex, death, rock and roll, scandals. This is why the Epstein stuff is not going away. Transiting Saturn is going through his 8th house. And then Jupiter, the 8th Lord, is going to stand on his Saturn in the 12th. Something very significant is going to happen. It's already significant stuff happening. But Jupiter is going to stand still on his Saturn for 7 weeks. Do you know how rare this is to have a planet stand on one of your natal planets for 7 weeks?
Well, I hope he has stilettos.
Well, we'll see. And someone said actually, could we give Trump some special fries? Some special fries.
Yeah, I hope,
because we know he's in his McDonald's, and we know the health isn't so great, and the cankles are still there, and the hand and everything. But guys, we're just wrapping up. So Sheila, then David, then Lady G. Final thoughts. Sheila, your thoughts on the situation. What do you want to say to the audience?
Just be brave. Have your head on a swivel. If you're going out to the No Kings protest, I hope I see you there. If anybody's here in Colorado Springs, I will be out there marching. I will have my blow up frog. That's what I'm going to be wearing, is my Great Big O huge blow up frog. My sister, who is going with me, she has a penguin of some sort. So there's going to be probably a lot of that, and just just keep in mind, we're doing this for a purpose. We're doing this for our life. We're doing this for a lot of things in our lives. And remember, all dictators who go down, none of them picked another follower. That's the one thing that, like the cult leader, they never pick another follower to bring that cult back up and running. So just keep that in mind, that when the head is cut off the giant's going to be easier to manage. Anyways, that's my final assessments. Keep the faith, and come join me in Colorado Springs.
All right. David, your final thoughts. What would you like to share with the audience?
It's, if you've ever wondered where you might have stood in the American Revolution or on the Civil War or on civil rights if you weren't born at that time point. If you ever wonder, it's like, this is the time where you pick a side. There's no to both sides say, oh, well, I understand both sides have points. In this case, it's a really fine line that we're talking about here. Are you on the side of democracy, or are you on the side of a dictatorship? And if you're on the side of democracy, go out and exercise your rights. They talk about, and we never would have thought of it this way, as democracy being a full contact sport, but we wouldn't have chosen this route. But this is where this is This is where the battlefield is. This is where the battlegrounds are. Go out and let history know, let your family know where you stand on it.
Wow. Lady G, any final words for the audience?
Yeah. We all know we're living in very trying times at this point. So live your best life that you can do what you're doing. Remember, this too will pass, and continue to hold the line of light and go forward and keep pushing for the changes that we want to come in.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, I will leave it there. I'll just say, keep your eyes peeled, folks. Let's see what Jupiter brings, when he stands still on Duck L'Orange. Will we be getting obituary news? Who knows? Will it be hospital? Who knows? Or will it be exile in the foreign lands? Or will someone continue vaselining the steps like JD Vance has been so patiently waiting for Grandpa to go back up on the roof again? We shall have to see. But 7 weeks, folks. Jupiter will be standing still on Trump's Saturn in his 12th house, which is also with his Pluto and his Venus. So we'll have to see. Can talk about foreign lands as well. There's apparently it's been leaked that he has got plans for Venezuela with the CIA as well. And I've made predictions of Venezuela, but I will leave it there. That is for another show. Thank you, guys, for joining me this evening. David, great to have you back. I will email you, of course, in the next few days to see maybe when you are next free in a few weeks from now to join us again. Lady G, thank you. Thanks so much. It would be great to have you back, Lady G. Lovely to see you, of course. Lady G, I think you are off next week, so Lady G will be resting. And then Lena will be back. And thank you as well, of course, Sheila. And we will see you, of course, next week.
Who do we have? Who do we have next week?
It is, good question. Let me get the rotor out. Sorry, I'm old school. Look,
I love it when
I do paper like this. All right, so let's see. Next week. So yes, Sheila, Lena, and it should be Johnny of Apprentice. So he should be back. I'm gonna double check. I think he confirmed, but thank you guys so much, and let's just see how it keeps going. One foot in front of the other, folks, and join that No King's March if you can. Express your side of history, and you'll be on the right side of history. All right, I'll leave it there. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Big love.